Have you told yourself you're going to make some changes, and then every time you try to do it, you struggle? You always have a million and one other things to do, or better things to do, or inconveniences that come up? If you do, find out why in this video. Hello, my positive posse. How are you guys doing today? I hope everyone is doing so well. I know I most definitely am. If for some reason you are not, let's all make a conscious decision right now to find something to be grateful for, throw those smiles on, and raise our vibrations just a little bit higher. So as you guys know, my name's April Kudva here with Passion Positivity, where we are raising vibrations one soul at a time. And in this video, we are going to talk about why we struggle to make changes. Okay, so before we get started, I want to thank you guys so much for all your support with this channel. Thank you for all the comments, the likes, the shares, the subscribes, everything. Thank you guys so much. If you have not subscribed yet, please go ahead and do. I would greatly appreciate that. But let's go ahead and get started. So, when we want to make a change, we always have to get ourselves there mentally first. We have to recognize that something with us could use a little work, that we could do a little bit better. So once we do that, once we realize that there's something we need to change, that there's something we need to work on, something we maybe need to alter in our lives so that we can be our best versions. Once we do that and come to that conclusion, we might make the best plan for how we're gonna change, right? We may say, all right, I'm gonna start working out every morning. I'm gonna put my workout shoes at the end of my bed and my workout clothes at the end of my bed, and I'm gonna sign up for this gym membership and I'm gonna force myself to go every day. And then 6 a.m. rolls around the next day and you wanna hit the snooze. And you wanna hit the snooze again. And I'll start tomorrow, right? I'll start tomorrow, I'll start next week, I'll start on Monday. Monday comes around, you're so tired because you stayed up late Sunday night. Tuesday comes around, oh, you've got a big meeting, you can't make it. Over and over and over and over again. We will always have a million and one reasons not to make changes. And this goes for changes for everything, not just working out, not just eating a better diet, not just being more, on top of things instead of procrastinating. Whatever change it is we're trying to make, there will always be a million and one reasons not to do it. But I'm gonna tell you guys why. So why is it that we have a million and one reasons not to change? Okay, so first, our body gets into our norm. When our body starts operating on its own habits over and over and over again, you wake up the same way every day, you eat the same foods at the same times, you go into the shower at the same time, then you get ready, then you wear the same business clothes, you get in your car, you drive the same way to work, and you sit at the same desk, and you go through the same routines. Your body starts to understand that routine. And your body starts to function based off of memory, based off a function that is inside of you. And when we're living off this function, and we're not changing our function, that becomes our new operating system, how we run, how we operate. And so anything outside of that normal, anything outside of that normal habit, that normal routine, triggers a stress response in our brains. And our brains don't like stress. Our bodies don't like stress. None of us likes stress. So when there's something different, something goes off in our mind and says, whoa, no, that's different. No, don't do that, go back to the normal, I like the normal, go back. And so when we try to make that change, like going to the gym at 6 a.m. every day, let's say, and you're used to getting up at 8, when you try to do that and you wake up at 6, your brain's gonna say, no, we're going back back to 8. Sleep in. Sleep till 8. You don't need to go to the gym. You can go after work. And your brain will find those reasons not to change because it does not want that stress response triggered. It's actually a mechanism our body uses to fight off things that cause us stress. It's crazy. Our body is so good at protecting us that it can cause us to not make changes because it doesn't want that stress trigger. So in order to make those changes, we have to be aware of what our brains will try to keep us from doing, which is make a change. Because it doesn't want to deal with that stress, it doesn't want any chaos in your body or any stress, anything different than the norm. We have to know that it's going to do that. We have to know that our mind is going to tell us, sleep in, don't go, you don't need to go. And it will make those 1,000,001 excuses. So you have to be one step ahead of your brain. You have to be one step ahead of what you know is going to happen so that you can fight that. When you know that there is going to be an excuse, all that, you can force yourself to go. Force yourself that no matter what, I'm still getting up. Okay, maybe I don't want to wake up, but I'm gonna. Maybe it's a diet you're trying to change. Okay, well, I don't wanna try this keto diet, don't wanna do it, I want my carbs, I want some bread today. Nope, my brain is gonna make 1,000,001 excuses not to eat that, but I'm gonna override it. I am going to override it and I'm gonna force that change. You have to force that change inside of you. You have to force that change and do it enough times. Overcome your body's natural habit to do what it's used to, what it knows best. You have to override that. And when you do that enough times, over and over and over and over again, and become smarter than yourself, force yourself to make that change. And they say 21 days it takes to make a habit. So force yourself for 21 days for whatever change that is, whether it's a behavioral change, a physical change, an emotional change, whatever change it is that you are trying to make. When you override that with your mental state, you say, nope, I'm going, we're doing it, and you force yourself to make that change. After 21 days, or even a little bit longer to be on the safe side, if you keep forcing that, it will become a new pattern of behavior. It will become one of your new habits. And then it will become your next, your normal. It will become what you do. It will become your body's next stage of natural habit. And then later on when you want to try that, your body will say, no, don't change me again, because it doesn't want you to stress. At the age of 25, our frontal lobe is fully developed. So after 25, it takes a major event for most people to change. Most people wait for trauma or crisis or some sort of diagnosis from a doctor to force a change in themselves. If you choose to make a change, know that it's not easy. It's going to take a lot of work. Don't wait for crisis. Don't wait for diagnosis. Don't wait for some trauma, traumatic experience, some tower moment, some awful event, some sort of loss or pain or suffering for us to change and make any changes. Force yourself now to make that change that you know you need to make. However, it will be difficult, like I've said. There will be 1,000,001 reasons for you not to change because you've gotten into a habit of living the way that you currently are. And if you've been living that habit your whole life, or for a few years, 10 years, 5 years, even 5 months, it's very, very difficult for us to change those habits that our body has gotten used to, that our body operates our daily life on. 95% of our day is run by our subconscious, which is run by, we know how to drive the car, we know how to get out of bed, we know how to brush our teeth, we know all these different things. But they just become motions in what we do. And 5% of our day is run by our conscious mind, our conscious thoughts. So with those changes that we want to make, we need to use that 5% wisely. We need to overcome those difficulties. We need to overcome all those million reasons why we don't want to change, why we want to stay stuck like we are in the pattern that we're in. Use that 5% of consciousness to force yourself to make that change. Not going through the daily habits, the daily emotions of what you do every day, driving to work the same way, putting the same clothes on the same way, and sitting in the shower for the same amount of time, and going through the same routine over and over and over and over again. Living your life in a program over and over. Change that program. Define yourself to create the best program. Not just a program that gets you from day to day, from A to B. Design yourself a program that is going to build you the best life, the most efficient life, the most successful life. Get up in the morning early. Go get that workout right away. Meditate before you go to bed so you can bring yourself back to peace, so you can bring yourself back to center and release toxic emotions, old traumas, past events that are still stuck with you. Change that diet to eat healthy. Whatever those changes are that you want to make to become your greatest version, to become your best self, make those changes today. It will be difficult. I can promise you that. It will be difficult because you have to override those 1,000,001 reasons why you shouldn't change. But if you're aware, and now that you are aware that that is going to happen, you will notice it when you start making those changes. You will notice it as you go about this journey. And when you do notice it, you can go ahead and override that. You can say, nope, we're going. Nope, we're going to the gym. Nope, we're gonna eat healthy today. Nope, we're going to meditate before bed. We are going to be our best. We're going to get in our best state. And you can force yourself to make that change, to go with that new plan that you have, to stick to it, to push through all those reasons not to do it. So you can have that change. But stick to it. Stick to it for 21 days. Stick to it for a month. Stick to it for 2 months. And before you know it, it will be your new norm. Waking up early, going to the gym, eating healthy, whatever those changes are, being more kind to people, being less judgmental, being less egotistical, whatever change you're trying to make, when you do that in time and you force yourself enough times over and over and over, and you override your body habits to create your new life, to create your new reality, those things that you used to force will now become your new normal, your new habits, and you will now be operating from a healthier, more high vibrational, more effective habit and lifestyle. I hope this helped you guys. I know when I was making my change, it was pretty difficult. For me, I took a very, very long time off of working out, a few years, and it was really it made me really unhappy because in college I used to work out every single day. I was insane about it. And then took a couple years off, was in a relationship. I got kind of complacent and didn't really put my best foot forward. And after that relationship, I had to make some changes, and I knew that working out was part of those changes, as well as eating. When I was working with my health coach, I had to make some changes with my eating and my dietary habits. And I used to eat everything that was on my plate. And your body doesn't need everything that's on your plate. Your body is only the size of your fist. So I had to override what I used to do, my usual behavior patterns. And instead of eating everything that was there, I only ate what I needed. And so it was something I had to force myself to do. And for the first few weeks, it seemed like the most difficult thing in the world. Just like waking up and going to the gym in the mornings. Every morning, getting up, going for my walks. I started with walks, then I started with jogging, then I went to the gym. So doing that every morning, forcing myself to get up early, forcing myself to go out there, forcing myself to jog, to get the exercise in, to go to the gym, to do all those things, forcing myself to make that change was very difficult because sleeping in bed and cuddling up in my bed was way more comfortable and seemed way more better than actually going to put work in and sweat. But after I forced myself to do that enough times, it's now my daily habit, and I literally could not imagine a day without it. I could not imagine a day without eating healthy. I could not imagine a day without going to the gym. I could not imagine a day without getting my exercise in, feeling good about myself first thing in the morning, knowing that I had that done for the day and, got a win for the day in that department, in my health department, my eating department, and all those, knowing that I'm living my best after forcing those changes by overriding those habits that I used to live by. After doing that for enough time, it became my new norm, and literally now when I want to make a change with something in my life, I'm aware of what my brain will try to get me to do in order to not cause a trigger response, a stress response. So now I'm aware of it and I can force myself through that and push myself through any sort of difficulties or roadblocks that I may face. And I'm finding change to be a lot easier. Change in, behavior patterns, change in any kind of pattern really. So I really hope that when you guys go ahead to make a change, you can become aware of this and force yourself to just push through it, push through any roadblocks to become your best and create the habits that you know will make you into that much, of a greater version of yourself and truly become your best. So I hope this helped you guys. If it did, please go ahead and hit that thumbs up button for me. Please let me know in the comments if there's certain things you guys are trying to change. Maybe that is working out, maybe that is a dietary habit, maybe that's just thinking more positive and being a more positive person, getting to work on time earlier, whatever it is. Let me know what you guys are working on changing. I know there's a lot of things I'm always trying to change, so I'd love to hear from you guys. Go ahead and subscribe if you guys have not already. I would greatly, greatly appreciate that. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.